Bernie Sanders announced that he's running for president, and he announced that he's running not just to push Hillary to the left, but he's running to win it. Now, the media narrative that we're getting as of late on this is that, no, Bernie's not going to win. He has no chance. He's only doing this to influence Hillary Clinton, push her off to the left, as I said. He's not a real candidate. And I sort of have an issue with that. And I sort of have an issue with the narrative that corporate media is pushing when it comes to Bernie Sanders. It's not just corporate media. A lot of different independent media analysis of Bernie Sanders say that he's not, basically he's got no chance, he's too far left, which I find ridiculous. He's only here to push Hillary, as I keep repeating myself, because that's really the only narrative that I seem to be hearing from the different media outlets. And Ron, I want to talk to you about this. I want to get your feelings on Bernie Sanders, his candidacy. Does he have a chance? Is the media unfair when they say that he doesn't have a chance? What do you think? I mean, what's the general reaction when you listen to all this stuff?
Well, there's a lot of questions in there. So let's go one at a time here. First of all, When the media is saying that he doesn't have a chance, I think if you're going to say that, especially if you're going to say that this early on, be honest with your reasoning. Don't just say, oh, he's too far left, or he's too far this, or he's too far that, because you don't really know that. You don't know what kind of splash this guy's going to make in terms of popular opinion, because there's a lot of people that don't know who he is, first of all. If you're going to make a statement like that, call it like it is. There's no way that Bernie Sanders can make the kind of money, can raise the kind of money that a Hillary Clinton is going to raise. Mm-hmm. So when you're making that kind of statement, what you're really doing is you're acknowledging the sad reality that elections are bought and sold in this country. So if you're going to be honest, and if you're going to say, look, there's a game to this, whether you like the game or not, it's the reality, and Bernie Sanders is not going to be able to play the game at a level Hillary Clinton's going to play this game. We know that. If you're going to say that and you're honestly assessing the situation, that's fine. In fact, that's responsible, because maybe some people are going to see that and they're going to think, that's really lame that that's the case. That's really lame that elections are bought and sold in this country. And then maybe they'll discover something like Wolfpack, and they'll realize that there's something we can try to do to start getting the money out of politics. Got a long way to go, but, for sure, nonetheless.
Well, ironically, before you go on, Ron, I want to point out that Bernie Sanders has actually raised quite a bit of money. Probably over $1 million by now in his first day. And that actually passed what Ted Cruz has raised, almost. I might be off on that a little bit, but the numbers are pretty close between Ted Cruz and, how much money he raised so far and how much Bernie Sanders has raised. It's been surprising to see the level of support, and I think that goes back to his populism.
I think so too. I think that this guy, and that's why, as far as getting it more wide scale in terms of what he's doing, I absolutely love what he's doing. Mm-hmm. I think it's awesome that he's doing what he's doing. I think it's really awesome he didn't go, I'm going to run as an independent. I think it's awesome that he's running as a Democrat, because he's going to light a fire under a Hillary Clinton, who is, let's be honest, Hillary is much more of a corporatist than he is. I mean, you can even trace back the year when Hillary Clinton was bought out, basically in 93. I mean, she used to support actual universal health care, and then a check came in. Mm-hmm. And this guy, Bernie's gonna hold her feet to the fire in that regard, and he's gonna kind of force her to go more to the left and more with popular opinion if he really riles the base. So what he's doing is absolutely wonderful. I think he's going about it in a smart way. I think he's going about it in an effective way. And he's going about it in a way where, yes, even if Dynasty does beat him out, he's still going to have an effect on this. He's going to make his voice be heard. And who knows, he may even get the VP nod. That's kind of a bit premature to speculate stuff like that, but I wouldn't rule it out.
Right. And what it comes down to, that I don't think it's discussed enough, is that he is a real contender. I think. For example, let's take a look at Barack Obama, right? Once again, we get into where Hillary was the presumptive nominee back in 2008. And then out of nowhere, this guy that nobody had heard of, Senator Barack Obama, who was polling at about this time, maybe a couple months prior, about this time in the election cycle at about 17%. Bernie somewhere around 14%. Right? And we all know the story of what happened with Barack Obama. And so, trying to...
Wait. Some people might not be familiar, Jeff. Could you...
Well, he is now finishing up his second term. If you might not have heard of Barack Obama, you might need a lesson in civics or to pay attention.
Sorry. Go on.
So, but this just shows how Bernie, we need to take him seriously, especially since he's speaking to the core of of what Americans believe. Unlike what the media is going to no doubt portray him as, some far leftist, he actually is more towards the soul of the American people, and it's just our politics that have gone so far to the right.
I fully agree. Yeah, no, I fully agree with that, and I do agree with you that yes, he is a contender. I will say this: I'd be surprised if the Clinton dynasty doesn't pull out here. If I was a betting man, I say Hillary kind of has this in the bag. But I'd like nothing more than to be proven wrong. And I'd love, and I do think you're right. That's not to say that, we couldn't see a surprise here, cause look at what happened with Obama. I think you're absolutely right. If I was a betting man, I'm gonna say I don't think so, but nonetheless, I think it's great that Sanders is there. I think it's great that he was the first one to step up to the plate. Because he's more focused on, like you said, ideas and connecting with the true heart and spirit of the American people versus just playing the game. So he's gonna, whether or not he has like a shot or whether or not he's gonna kind of make history, either way, he is going to kind of rile those ideas, and he's going to force a Hillary Clinton or whatever other, candidate is maybe going to be higher up the totem pole in terms of the money they raised and stuff like that.
Right.
Because, I don't think Sanders is going to come close to outraising Clinton in terms of finance.
No.
That's certainly not going to happen. So, but I think either way, the fact that he's there, he's going to force that person to then connect with those ideas more too, because he's going to bring up some issues. He's going to talk about campaign finance reform. He's going to talk about the environment. He's going to talk about healthcare. He's going to talk about the income inequality in a way where he's not just giving it lip service, Jeff.
Right.
He's actually going to hammer it. So he's going to force the other candidates to kind of step up, because either way, people are going to be watching those primaries. People are going to be watching those debates.
And not to mention trade deals.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really, really important thing to bring up. His steadfast opposition to the TPP and Hillary Clinton's not really declared position. As far as I know, she hasn't really declared her position on the TPP.
Right. And well, here's another thing to finish on that thought, where we're talking about how he's going to bring up these ideas, he's going to bring them up in the debates. Here's another prediction that I'll make right now, and let's see if this comes to fruition. When the primaries happen, when the debates happen, I guarantee you he will be given the least amount of speaking time. Guarantee it. He will be,
almost
call me on it now and let's revisit it. And once again, I would love nothing more than be proven wrong on that one, but I highly doubt it, because the same thing happened to Dennis Kucinich, and that's what it is. The person that's truly challenging the status quo, that truly has convictions, that truly has ideas, that's truly wanting to move forward, that person gets stifled the most because they don't play the game the same way.
Mm-hmm. And look, when we say we're talking, people playing the game, we're talking about the media game. And the media game is really, really kind of at the core of this issue, because people who are not establishment don't get respected by establishment media, don't get a lot of time in establishment media. And that is really the problem. And it's the media right now that we have to remember that continues to create the narrative. And what the narrative is now is that Bernie's just a one-off side candidate that doesn't have a chance, that, is a far leftist, as you'll undoubtedly hear from the Fox Newses of the world, that, doesn't speak to America, that has lots of issues, that don't represent America, and that is just flatly wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, and in the Fox Newses of the world, Rick Santorum's considered a moderate now because he said something in support of Bruce Jenner. So they're not a very good,
right.
They're not a very good scope or a very good gauge. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely, even like some of the people that you think would normally be in support of him, you're seeing stuff in the press of, oh, he's not going to help Clinton. Right. He's not, I mean, it's very much like you're saying, playing the establishment game. To a point where in 2015, it's a bit depressing to see that we haven't, changed much since the early aughts.
Absolutely.
That we've gotten worse.